Something that we will probably talk a little bit more about when we start searching for articles is how we want to use the database to really scaffold the searching that we're going to do. But I thought it might be a good idea to show this to you this week too, since we're talking about Boolean operators. Now, what I'm going to show you does work in OneSearch. It works in most databases. It just may be in a different place or look slightly differently depending on the database. But I'm actually going to demonstrate this to you in one of my other favorite databases that is called PsycInfo. So I'm going to go to the database list. I'm going to look for PsycInfo. PsycInfo is a big database from the American Psychological Association, so it's great for psychology topics. And you'll see I have the search box here for me, just like anywhere else. But if I go and I click on where it says Advanced Search, it's going to bring up these three nice little search boxes for me. And one of the things that you should probably notice is that one of my operators, the AND operator, is right here. It is a drop-down box. I'm going to talk to you about why you should ignore that drop-down box in just a minute. And what I can do is think about each one of these three search boxes as being a stand-in for each of my main concepts. So taking my example of women who have anxiety and their yoga practices and whether or not that could help with anxiety, I could think about this first search box as being my anxiety box, right? And so the database is going to try to help me a little bit here, where it's suggesting anxiety disorders or anxiety or generalized anxiety disorder. So it's kind of hinting to me that I could use some different terms there. I'm just going to stick with anxiety for now. And then my second box will be my yoga box. So let's say I'm interested in yoga, but I really have learned that one of the benefits of yoga is maybe mindfulness practice. So possibly articles about mindfulness are also going to be relevant to me. So that is where I can use the or Boolean operator, or mindfulness. And a lot of times students will ask me whether or not it matters if the ands and ors are capitalized. It really doesn't for most databases these days. I still like capitalizing them because then I can have a really clear divider between my different concept keywords that I'm using, but you don't have to. And then my third box is going to be my population box. So in this case, I could do women, or if I have decided to narrow my research question to pregnant women, maybe I could say prenatal or pregnancy, right? Or I could even be fancy and add a truncation symbol here if I want. So let's say I wanted to find pregnancy or pregnant. I could go ahead and add the truncation, and that's going to find the different endings of those words for me. So what this is telling the database to do is to make sure that anxiety is combined with at least yoga or mindfulness and at least prenatal or something related to this truncated term that is a stand-in for pregnancy. So if I go ahead and click search, we'll see I have 99 pieces of information. So if you're used to searching in OneSearch, this seems like a lot fewer. And that is one of the benefits of a subject-specific database, is that you have a more specific pool of information that you are going to be looking at, assuming that you know more about what subject or what database you want to look at. One of the things that I mentioned at the beginning of this video is that these are drop-down menus. So it looks really handy that you could possibly use the or in the drop-down, but this can really confuse your search. So I'm going to do kind of just a quick demonstration here. I'm going to take this concept out for a minute and see how many results we get just for anxiety and yoga or mindfulness. Okay, so I have 5,134 results. What happens here if I change this to an or is I get over 325,000 results, which is just too many. So what this is telling the database is to find anxiety or yoga, or mindfulness, right? So it kind of just gets a little bit confused. So go ahead and make sure that you leave the drop downs on and then think about each one of these boxes as a stand-in for one of your concepts. And then you can type the or in between your keywords. I hope that's helpful. And as always, let me know if you have any questions.